Serritella, John Murphy are joined by Dillon Stoner, the Oklahoma State wide receiver, part of the NFL PA Collegiate Bowl virtual experience a couple weeks ago that I was involved with, and he joins us on the show right now, waiting patiently, I should say, that Dillon Stoner was. Good morning, Dillon. How are you today?
Good morning. Good. I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. You're joined by Ric Serritella and John Murphy. You are officially on the hot seat. John, what do you got for Dillon?
So, Dillon, obviously a great program you came from. You had an opportunity to make a decision. Take the people through what went into making the decision at the end of a very interesting college football season. What made your decision to decide to go into the draft rather than to go back next year?
Yeah, I had an injury my freshman year, so I did redshirt. I was a fifth-year senior this past season, so it was just I felt like I had a great career. I loved every second of it, and I felt like it was just time for me to move on and take the next step in my football career.
Well, Dillon, talk to me about what it's like right now getting prepared for the NFL draft and trying to work out during the pandemic. It's obviously a different process. Where are you now? What does your workout regimen look like, and how many days a week you training?
Yeah, I'm in Denver, Colorado right now training. We train 5 to 6 days a week, and it's awesome. The biggest adjustment really is, wearing a mask all the time while you're working out and running and all that, which with altitude isn't ideal, but, you adjust to it and get used to it the more and more you do it. But, I love the process so far. I'm really enjoying every step of the journey.
Now, unfortunately, we won't have the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis at the end of the month. So has Oklahoma State announced a pro day? Have you been in communication with the school? Do they plan to host a pro day for the players? Will you get an opportunity here to work out in front of the NFL scouts, do you think?
Yeah, we just set our pro day for April 1st, obviously a little bit later than usual, but, I'm just thankful that we're able to have one this year.
Oh, no, I'm thankful too. That's great news because we have confirmed with some schools who are not conducting a pro day. And so that's a big step, especially in this COVID era of the 2021 draft cycle. We got Dillon Stoner, Oklahoma State, flash and dancing wide receiver with John Murphy and Ric Serritella. John, what do you got for Dillon?
So, Dillon, you play at Jenks both ways, and you know what kind of football, is expected out of them. Then you get to Oklahoma State, and you guys have a lot of success in your time there. Take us through the time of playing football in the state of Oklahoma, and you've been a part of two of the best rivalries and some of the biggest games, in both high school and college, at those two spots in the past decade. Is there a favorite moment in all of this? And now that you know that the next time you strap on a helmet, it's going to be professionally, how does that all kind of come together for you, knowing that, hey, when you enter, if you're going there, you know what's expected, which is championships and W's. Oklahoma State, you guys really have been the, group that has really helped turn the corner and put you guys, further on the map as being not only a contender every year, but somebody to be reckoned with. What's that been like for you, and kind of take the fans, behind the scenes of what's gone on with Dillon Stoner in the past 8 years?
Yeah, I had a great high school experience. I mean, like you said, playing both ways, I got to do it all, which was a lot of fun. And playing for, one of the most legendary Oklahoma coaches of all time, Coach Alan Trimble, was a blessing. And playing surrounded by guys who are currently in the NFL, guys like Darwin Thompson, who's preparing for a Super Bowl, Stephen Parker, who's with the Cowboys right now, and the list goes on. I mean, I was super fortunate to, be around that kind of talent early and kind of watch how those older guys prepared for games and stuff. And then at Oklahoma State, it was the same thing. I mean, there's a long list of guys that have been playing in the league, have been very successful. And so getting to learn from them and see how they prepare for the big games and just kind of see how they prepare for practice and different, trying to take different things out of their routes and their games and try to incorporate it in mine. It was awesome. I mean, the past 8 years playing football in Oklahoma was a dream come true for me in every sense of the way. And, it was a blessing that I'll never take for granted for sure.
Absolutely. And Dillon Stoner here on the State of Football. Big day on that season finale against Baylor, ending the year with a bang. Obviously, you and Tylan Wallace are the two primary wide receivers coming out of Oklahoma State, catching the NFL scouts' attention, along with Chuba Hubbard there and you, Rashard Hamilclair. Oklahoma State's turning out a lot of talent lately. Coach Mike Gundy doing a great job recruiting. Curious if you can give us a story about Coach Gundy. Take us inside the mullet.
He's a character, man. One of my favorite stories of all time is when we know we're getting ready for practice and we have a team meeting, and Coach Gundy's running a couple minutes late, and everyone's kind of like looking around. No one really knows where he is, and he comes jogging in and he's sweating. He just got done with his run, and he stands up there, kind of looks at us, takes off his shirt, and then just starts the whole meeting like nothing happened. So that was one of my favorite all-time stories of Coach Gundy and the mullet at my time at OSU.
He's a man.
He's
a man. Dillon Stoner here. Last one for me, Dillon, and I'll throw it over to John so he can get a final question in. I know you had a chance to participate in the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl virtual experience. What were you able to take away and gather from that? What did you learn, and how do you think it will help you moving forward?
Yeah, it was awesome. The first day was great, getting to break up in that Zoom call with guys like Steve Smith and Golden Tate and just kind of, bounce some questions off of them and get to pick their brain a little bit was awesome, just seeing how those guys prepare and seeing how they've been successful for so long and the tidbits that they gave us. I mean, I felt like I could have honestly wrote a book about the whole experience just talking with them. So there's a ton of things that I'll take away from that, and I'm very lucky that I got to be a part of that.
Awesome. Great stuff there. Last one for you coming from the pitcher's mound. That is John Murphy. John, what do you got? You gonna throw Dillon a fastball down the middle or hit him with a curve?
No, I think I'm going to give him an easy underhander. So you mentioned the last, the last 8 years playing, football in Oklahoma. So if you only had one left to choose, one more Saturday in Stillwater or one more Friday night, under the lights there at Jenks, which one would you pick?
Man, that's a tough question. That's a curveball if I had to say. Man, that's tough. I mean, the high school experience, you're playing with all your best friends growing up, just the camaraderie and everything. And then again, it's crazy because I wish I could pick, all the guys and have everyone come back from Oklahoma State. It's a toss-up. It really is. I guess just the crowd and atmosphere in Stillwater is a little bit more exciting and loud at OSU. So I'd probably say OSU over Jenks, but not by much at all.
All right, Dillon. Well, you're off the hot seat. You did a great job here on the State of Football. We're looking forward to seeing where your draft journey takes you. So best of luck throughout the process, and hopefully we can have you back on the show after the draft weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me on.